What is up? Welcome into yet another edition of the Ben Garcia Show. Thank you so much for making this a part of your day, however you're watching, however you are following, however you consume the Ben Garcia Show, whether that's on the iHeartRadio app for free, Spotify, or Apple Podcasts, or you are putting a face to the voice and watching on YouTube. We appreciate that as well. We have hit 1,000 subscribers, closing in on 1,100 subscribers. The family is growing, and we thank you so much for that. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, leave a comment. Tell me why you love me. Tell me why you hate me, even more preferably. It's always more fun to hear what things people have to say about me, all because of a sports take. Honestly, I love it. Pretty thick skin over here on the Ben Garcia Show, but neither here nor there. Let's talk about it. The Dallas Mavericks seize control in Game 3 against the Oklahoma City Thunder. And here's kind of my take on the whole thing. The Oklahoma City Thunder, well, let me start here, actually. The Oklahoma City Thunder let one get away. That's a game you have to win when Kyrie Irving, who was good in this game, but not otherworldly Kyler, but not otherworldly Kyrie Irving. Like, he was good. He was 10 for 17 from the field. He was efficient. But this wasn't a 40-point Kyrie Irving game. Kyrie Irving was good. He wasn't spectacular. Luka Doncic made some timely shots when the Mavericks needed it most, but for the most part, kind of a non-factor at some points in this game. If not for 7 free throws, this guy doesn't even get into 20 points. Luka Doncic, 7 for 17 from the field. And if the Mavericks would have lost this game, I would have been going after Luka. But the Oklahoma City Thunder let one get away, no doubt about it. Josh Giddey has been a net negative in this series. Lou Dort was in foul trouble all game and then eventually fouled out on like the last 10 seconds of this game. You got almost nothing from your starting five outside of Jalen Williams and Chet Holmgren. And then Isaiah Joe with some contributions off the bench. But outside of that, no contributions off the bench. Whereas for the Dallas Mavericks, you had P.J. Washington turning into what a buddy of mine called prime Tracy McGrady. And other players off the bench like Derek Lively, who played spectacular in this game. So in a game in which Luka Doncic doesn't play very well and was not very efficient in this game, Kyrie Irving, who was not otherworldly and spectacular. Sure, he was efficient, but this wasn't a Game 7 of the 2016 NBA Finals, Kyrie Irving, and you let this one slip away. You can't bank on the fact that Luka Doncic is going to play this poorly again, because in Game 2, we saw what he was capable of, putting up a 30-40 burger on the Oklahoma City Thunder on the road. This feels like the gut punch game for the Oklahoma City Thunder's chances. If the Oklahoma City Thunder would have lost Game 3, but it was only by a few points and it was on the road and Luka Doncic had a spectacular game and Kyrie Irving was dishing the ball as well as he was making shots and P.J. Washington was being this elite two-way player, then I'd say, yeah, the Thunder have a chance to come back in Game 4, steal that game, and maybe you get one of those patented Luka Doncic games where he doesn't play very well. But you got that in this game. Luka Doncic didn't play well. Kyrie Irving was not otherworldly spectacular 2016 NBA Finals Game 7 Kyrie Irving, and he still lost. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander was good in this game. Not amazing. 10 for 23 from the field. 9 free throws made. 2 3-pointers. 10 3-pointers made for the Oklahoma City Thunder, 11 made for the Dallas Mavericks. Lou Dort was not hitting threes that he probably should be hitting. He was 2 for 7 from the field. This is a game that the Oklahoma City Thunder had to win to stay alive in this series. And now you march into Game 4, a game in which now you don't have a choice. You have to win. And you're banking on the fact Luka Doncic doesn't play well because he's still banged up, or Kyrie Irving has a inefficient game, and P.J. Washington is kept in check. But over the last 2 games, you haven't had that happen. P.J. Washington's been awesome. And now the Oklahoma City Thunder are being kind of exposed in the front court. We know they've had some big man depth issues, but a lot of people have. The offensive rebounding is not there. And overall, this is what we thought coming into the series, or what a lot of people thought coming into the series. The Dallas Mavericks are just the better team. The Oklahoma City Thunder came into this regular season and balled out, played balls to the wall. The Oklahoma City Thunder are the New York Knicks of the Western Conference. They played really hard. They're scrappy. And in the regular season, they just wore you out. It doesn't matter if it was a game in prime time against the Boston Celtics or a Tuesday night with 11 people watching in Michigan playing the Pistons. They gave you everything. They gave you everything you could handle. But the Oklahoma City Thunder, unlike the New York Knicks, are in the Western Conference. And instead of getting to play an Indiana Pacers team that's just happy to be in the second round and running them out of town, you have to play the Dallas Mavericks, who have a legitimate superstar in Luka Doncic, who have a legitimate number two, who's won a championship being a number two in Kyrie Irving, and you have one of the better two-way players, number three players in the NBA, in PJ Washington, who can be a legitimate championship number three or number four on your team. That's what PJ Washington brings to the table. So the New York Knicks style of play, the aggressive, gritty, we're just going to wear you out. It doesn't matter who we're playing or when we're playing. We are going to run you into the floor. Doesn't work in the Western Conference. And this is why myself and a lot of people thought the Dallas Mavericks would win this series. Because the New York Knicks, who get to play the Pacers and get to play the beat-up 76ers, the Oklahoma City Thunder are getting punched in the mouth because although playing that New York Knicks style of basketball, and they're the New York Knicks of the Western Conference, they still play in the Western Conference. So you're going to lose to teams like the Dallas Mavericks, who also try hard in the playoffs. And you're going to struggle for a couple of games against the New Orleans Pelicans, who are a physical team. Although they ran through that series, game one was tough. There were some tough points in that series for the Oklahoma City Thunder, although they swept them and swept them pretty handily. But then you run into a superstar in Luka Doncic, a number two in Kyrie Irving, a pretty good head coach in Jason Kidd. Love the adjustments he made. A deeper team, Derek Lively coming off the bench and coming alive, and PJ Washington, one of the better two-way players in the NBA who has a lot of attitude to him. And the Oklahoma City Thunder had to win this game. Luka wasn't great. Kyrie Irving wasn't otherworldly. You had a chance to win this game. You were up by 10 in the third quarter. You failed, and it's going to cost you the series. That was a game the Oklahoma City Thunder had to win. It was there for the taking. And now you go into game 4 in a game you have to win, praying Luka Doncic is not the same player again, praying Kyrie Irving doesn't go off in one of his patented playoff Kyrie Irving games. And I just don't see that happening. So for that reason, this was the death blow to the Oklahoma City Thunder's chances. And although they're a great team and I'd like to see them make a splashy play or two in the offseason, this series is going to go to the Dallas Mavericks.